A sensor light is not going to fix this problem, and Democrats no longer possess the common sense to understand that not every problem in the world can be fixed with a regulation. But don't tell that to the advocacy groups who also want every future car in America to only start when the driver blows into a breathalyzer. Oh, great, my other car is a Karen. I asked Senator Adam Schiff here last week when the subject of Trump's sliding poll numbers came up. Okay, but how are the Democrats going to blow it this time? This is how. Posturing, purity tests, the politics of I unfriend you if you're not exactly with me 1,000%.
Bill Maher is tearing through the absurdities of woke culture like it's his newest full-time mission. At this rate, don't be surprised if he drifts toward the center-right or straight-up catapults there. The far left's nonstop radicalism is clearly wearing down his patience, even though he insists he hasn't switched sides. But the cracks are definitely showing. So what firestorm did Maher spark this time? And whose reputations did he leave in ashes with his latest rant? Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
In other uncomfortable racial news, sad news, we found out this week that Sydney Sweeney is a... That was just... No, she's not. But you all see the ad that she's out there. This is a very important ad that we're seeing now. There she is, dressed like Jay Leno in all blue denim. And she talks about the fact that she has blue eyes, and then she says, I have great genes, you know, because she's wearing jeans. But according to the woke people, this means that she's a white supremacist. It also doesn't help that her bra size is 36 KKK.
If you missed the newest culture war circus, here's the quick recap. Actress Sydney Sweeney just appeared in an ad for American Eagle. Harmless, right? Not to the perpetually triggered woke critics. They whipped up an online meltdown claiming the ad was somehow a white supremacist stunt. Yes, seriously. Then came demands to cancel both Sweeney and American Eagle altogether. The offense was nothing more than the usual hypersensitive outrage. Bill Maher wasn't buying it for 1 second. With his signature bluntness, he blasted the entire mob as completely out of touch. For Maher, this is just another example of the far left cannibalizing itself over nonsense no rational person even notices.
And that the name she gave her is the Proud Boys. But other than that, I will say this, they should have been aware when they wrote this ad that this is what some people were going to think. I don't think they did it on purpose, but I also think it's pretty funny that all the online social justice girls are like, it's racist. There's no such thing as good genes. Right, and then you go on Tinder and swipe left on every bald guy.
Maher unleashed a classic takedown, razor sharp, fearless, and unmistakably his style. He exposed the woke mob's hypocrisy with pinpoint precision. If they truly believed in embracing every kind of person, they'd welcome everyone regardless of appearance, fitness, or symmetry. But they don't. Instead, they constantly move the goalposts, create pointless battles, and stay perpetually outraged over absolutely nothing. Maher isn't buying the act, and he doesn't pretend otherwise. He doesn't just disagree with them, he sees them as a genuine societal threat. In his eyes, their movement isn't about fairness or justice. It's about destruction. They want to tear down anything good, beautiful, or stable just to revel in the rubble and label it progress.
I mean, look at the mainstream media headlines. I'm sitting here counting. 1, Washington Post, Independent, NBC News, Fox News, Salon, KTLA, Newsweek. Piece after piece after piece after piece dedicated to the supposed controversy. What is the controversy? You mean to tell me that if you put attractive women next to a product, people might want to buy it?
Yeah.
That's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
This tactic has been a marketing staple for decades, and it still works flawlessly. Put an attractive woman next to a product and sales take off. It's not groundbreaking. Every major ad agency understands it and has used it forever. Add a catchy slogan and suddenly you've got a memorable campaign. But in today's hypersensitive climate, even that becomes offensive. Cue the outrage mob, pretending to be shocked by a strategy older than most of them are. They act like this is some sinister new manipulation, when in reality it's the same harmless marketing approach used since the early days of print ads.
New York is New York. It's definitely it's the media capital, the financial capital.
It is a bellwether like no other city is in this country. So don't tell me that who the mayor of New York is doesn't matter.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Do you think, let's say, on the seize the means of production, do you think that the mayor, that one person, if he is a democratic socialist, do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, like, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time.
After Maher finished roasting the woke mob for their ridiculous attacks on Sydney Sweeney, he pivoted to the Democrats, and the results were brutal. He warned that if the party picks Zohran Mamani as their 2028 nominee, they might as well gift-wrap the presidency for J.D. Vance. Mamani, a proud democratic socialist, openly pushes for defunding the police, abolishing ICE, and slapping massive taxes on the wealthy. Maher admits those ideas may sound uplifting on paper, but insists they're wildly unrealistic and completely out of step with mainstream America. In his view, regular voters aren't chasing utopian fantasies. They want policies that function in the real world. And if Democrats keep prioritizing ideological purity over practicality, they'll keep losing to Republicans who understand how everyday people actually think.
It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party
I think
nationally.
the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrat socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. The state-run grocery stores, which work so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela.
Maher warns that if Zohran Mamani ever becomes New York's governor, the entire state will turn into his political experiment. Every policy, from housing to the economy to infrastructure, would become a preview of a potential Mamani presidency. In Maher's eyes, New York would essentially serve as a testing ground, a political lab where his democratic socialist ideas live or die. And make no mistake, the nation would be watching, just like people now scrutinize Gavin Newsom's California record as a measure of his presidential chances. Mamani would face the same microscope. Maher argues voters won't be swayed by speeches or slogans. They'll judge him by results. If New York collapses under his leadership, his national ambitions will evaporate before they even begin.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's Bernie? Bernie is Bernie is. I mean, he's not a capitalist.
No, he's not, and he's also not president.
He's not. But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will. Trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people. They boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real.
Bill Maher is absolutely right. Calling someone a boogeyman only works if there's real evidence behind the fear. When actual danger exists, it's not fear-mongering. It's a warning. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She earned her boogie woman label through her infamous insider trading scandals. If she could bend the rules that aggressively as Speaker of the House, imagine the damage she could do with presidential power. Then there's Gavin Newsom, who plunged California into chaos with runaway spending, rising crime, and mass business exits. Now imagine that nationwide. That's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition. So when Maher warns that Zohran Mamani could steer America into full-blown socialism, it's hardly an exaggeration. Look at Venezuela and Cuba for reference. The boogeyman label only sticks when there's real fire behind the smoke, and Maher sees the flames coming.
I know you've all been told that you can have it all, and you're a queen and a lady boss, and that. But maybe your judgy is no prize either. And if you jilt a guy for not thinking enough about Black Lives Matter, just tell me this. What have you actually done that made any more of a difference in any black life than what your inadequate ex-fiancé did? I asked Senator Adam Schiff here last week when the subject of Trump's sliding poll numbers came up. Okay, but how are the Democrats going to blow it this time? This is how. Posturing, purity tests, the politics of I unfriend you if you're not exactly with me 1,000%.
Maher then tackles a growing trend among woke women who refuse to date men unless they share every one of their political views. It doesn't matter if the guy checks every box. Successful, attractive, responsible, emotionally grounded, protective. If he picks the wrong political team, he's instantly disqualified. Maher calls out the absurdity of this hypertribal mindset, saying it reflects a deeper cultural intolerance creeping into every part of life, even relationships. To him, this obsession with ideological purity isn't just destroying dating. It's hurting the Democratic Party itself. He believes this rigid mindset contributed to Democratic losses in 2024 and could sabotage them again in 2028. In Maher's view, when politics outweighs personality, compatibility, or common sense, you're not just losing dates, you're losing voters rapidly.
The far left, what we call the woke, they seem to embrace every sort of obviously, aggressively anti-common sense thing. I can't let people who have this worm in their brain, whatever that worm is, Bobby Kennedy's not the only one with a worm in his brain, take over this country. And I totally get that. It's just that if I had to balance the two, the left, yes, is still less fundamentally, existentially threat.
Maher sees the far left as a genuine threat to American stability, and honestly, he has a point. Their agenda often defies basic logic. The most alarming part is that they brag about it like it's virtuous. They push for biologically male athletes to compete against women, ignoring obvious physical advantages. They endorse life-altering gender procedures for minors who haven't even finished puberty. They promote hiring and promotions based on identity boxes instead of merit, sidelining competence entirely. To Maher and many others, this isn't progress. It's extremism masked as morality. It's an ideology that prioritizes feelings over facts and dogma over reason. When every traditional norm is labeled oppressive and every disagreement is condemned as hate, we're not advancing, we're collapsing. Maher's message is clear. If the far left keeps driving this agenda, society won't survive the consequences.
Democrats no longer possess the common sense to understand that not every problem in the world can be fixed with a regulation. But don't tell that to the advocacy groups who also want every future car in America to only start when the driver blows into a breathalyzer. Oh, great, my other car is a Karen.
Democrats have buried the country under so much bureaucracy and red tape that even the simplest tasks drag on forever. From opening a small business to completing infrastructure projects, everything moves at a snail's pace. And their regulatory obsession goes even further. It feels like they want to control every aspect of American life, from what we drive to what we eat to how we raise our kids. They love to preach about democracy, freedom, and the will of the people, yet their policies often reflect the opposite. In practice, they resemble top-down enforcers, dictating how people should think, speak, and live, all under the banner of progress. The irony is unbelievable. While claiming to protect liberty, they suffocate it with rules, restrictions, and ideological policing. Maher and many others finally see it for what it is: a system that punishes independence and rewards obedience. Maher is sounding the alarm, and for good reason. From woke absurdity and ideological purity tests to suffocating regulations and socialist dreams, the far left is steering the country into dangerous territory. Their assault on common sense, free thought, and personal freedom isn't just irritating, it's destructive. If Democrats don't correct course soon, they won't just lose elections, they'll lose the very public they claim to fight for. Maher isn't switching sides. Reality is pushing him there. And with that, we wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed the commentary, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.